Welcome to another edition of Around Town, where we focus in on the people and the places of your community. I'm Larry Seaman, your host. Today's show has to do with a boy and his dog. Both of them very special and have just recently found each other. To set up the story, we're going to go back for a moment to the last meeting of the Salem Lions Club.
I just want to go over some of the projects that we've done during my first year of presidency. First and foremost, obviously, is the dog project. It has been a long project. It is started as a seed of an idea that while we all thought there was going to be a fairly simple process to follow through, we found out that finding a candidate was much more difficult than anybody had really anticipated. And so after probably 6 or 8 months worth of a search, we found a worthy candidate. We contacted Paws with a cause. We got the child a dog, and Tina actually has pictures of the dog if anybody wants to see Brady with his new dog out in Michigan. She can show you those on her phone. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks he should be home.
Now it's time to get more details about Brady and his dog, Rocky.
Right? What was the special quote when you want to tell Mr. Seaman? Go ahead. Tell him about Rocky. When Rocky doesn't have his vest, what?
He's a regular dog.
A regular dog.
It's a regular dog. He's just like a regular dog. Huh?
And when you put the vest on, what happens?
He turns into a superhero.
He's a superhero.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. He's a big dog.
Yep.
Do you ever get to hug him or anything like that?
Oh, show him. Show him how much that you love to hug him. Go ahead. He loves it, and his tail waggles, and he gets...
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's a good boy.
And Rocky doesn't mind you hugging him or anything like that,
No.
huh?
They actually... It helps Brady fall... Rocky helps Brady fall asleep at night.
Oh,
He
good.
sleeps up in his bed until he falls asleep. And he helps him calm down. And typically the service dogs are not trained to go on furniture, so we had to kind of train him to go on his bed.
All right, could you explain or talk to us a little bit about the background of how you received the dog and
Sure.
how you got involved and stuff like that?
Well, Mr. Elliott and the Lions Club kind of put out a search for that they wanted to place a service dog with a child of any disability, I would think, or a child that has a visual impairment. And then the process kind of went on, and they hadn't heard. And Brady's school nurse Tina White, said, well, I have someone that I think might be a great candidate. And so she said, I think Brady Moran might be that person. And so Brady and Bob and the rest of the Lions Club.
But there was like 4 of the kids.
That's in Michigan, so we didn't get there yet. So they started the process, and then it was a couple years process that they went back and forth, and they placed the dog in a foster home with a foster family, and then he does some specialized training. And then once we heard that Brady would definitely be getting a dog, Brady and I and his Auntie Susie were lucky enough to go to Michigan, and Dad stayed home with the other 2 and held down the fort, and we did some special training, right? And we spent some time and met Rocky and made sure that he was a good match. And then after a week, we came home.
Now, in the training that you folks were involved in, what kind of things did you have to go through?
We had to practice the commands, right, Brady? Yeah. Make sure that Rocky and Brady were a good match. You want to tell Mrs. Seaman, what are some of the commands that he knows?
Sit and
stay.
Stay and
okay.
Fetch.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of things. And when we're walking and we're in public, he's knows commands to be safe. So if there's a narrow passaging, he knows to follow behind, and he and Brady stay behind, and we all go through the door so we're not 3 across. Right. He's very careful about when we're in a store, if there's a grocery cart, that he stays out of the way of the wheels, and he keeps Brady safe in the store. And well, she's in the top of the cart. We got the whole gang. Then we came home, and there's a field representative out of Massachusetts who will be coming for probably 6 or 7 more visits to make sure that these guys are okay and they're still a great team.
Right.
And
Talk
then
about the Lions Club if you could.
And the Lions Club has just been unbelievable. We wouldn't have been able to do this without them. They did year plus worth of fundraising and gathering of money and community support so that we'd be able to do this. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been possible. It's just an amazing thing that they paid for all of our travel expenses. We went out and like I said, my sister-in-law came, and it was just unbelievable. And Paws for a Cause they worked with them really well. This was only the 24th or 25th, I'm not positive, dog for children with autism that's been placed. So it's a really special thing. A lot of the other service dogs that have been placed are with adults and for other, different medical needs, but this Dogs for Children with Autism is fairly new to them.
You must have something to say.
Well, I'm actually very surprised that he took to the dog the way he did, because that was one of his anxieties, because the only experience he's ever had with dogs prior to this experience has been, where they're larger than him and where they can be out of his visual field. So he used to say they would sneak up on him, and he was really anxious about that. So this has been an unbelievable experience to see how, something that he once thought it was an anxiety is now an asset to him on a daily basis.
Right.